Swag. Oh, and this is our tutorial on how to build a PC. Our team members include me, Richard, John, and Daniel, who's currently filming. And that's Yevgeny, who's not essentially a part of our team, but he's our team mascot for today. Alright, so we got our case here with the lid already open. And first thing we need to do is put it on the side here without things falling out, extra things there. And as you can see, got it there. And first thing we need is our motherboard. So as you can see, usually most of the times they need to have
I suppose that means I gotta get up.
most of the time you can tell where it's gonna go in. But in this case, before we start with putting that in, gotta get our anti-stuck. The strap on here. Safety first. So
You don't actually have to do this part.
oh well.
It's a mental note for all of our viewers.
So get that on. And we got our motherboard here. Gotta get it in. As you can see, you gotta be very careful when you're putting this in. You gotta make sure it goes in the right spots. Where is it? It's hooked. Looks like it's hooked in here.
Today, my friend.
Hi there, Dan. There's the processor.
Okay. So when you're looking at the processor pins, see how there's 4 missing? Look on there. 4 missing. Ooh.
Okay, hopefully it will focus soon.
See, there's a lot of math involved with this. Put it in there. Look at that. Swag. Streets. Put that in there. It's gonna click. This secures it in place, so it's not like jumbling about when you're moving it. And then,
By the way, we also put the
heatsink.
heatsink base in, which was out before.
yeah, I put that in advance. Save you guys the time of having to
What about the thermal
watch
paste?
me do it. Right, I got thermal paste too. I'm just putting that there. So the thing you gotta know about thermal paste is if you put in too much, instead of transferring heat, it conducts heat, and then you fry your processor or the board, or you melt it, and a lot of bad stuff happens. So don't do that. The general cardinal rule is about a grain of rice, like that. You don't want to like trip around either; it gets messy and whatnot. You get fingers like that, and then you hate life. So slap that sucker on. However you do that on this computer. The heat sink in the base and whatnot varies depending on your computer. So. When you got that, then you want to put in the memory. You got dual channels. You can tell by these, the color coded right here. This is DIM 1, DIM 2, DIM 1, DIM 2. So when you put in the memory, you want to put it in exactly like this. Don't like scrape it in there or some dumb garbage like that. Because if you do, then you're going to ruin the pins and you're going to be one sad expletive I can't say on the video.
By the way, you know it's in by the way it clicks.
It clicks, yeah. And don't like don't touch the pins either, especially when you got that white garbage on you. So when you got that, then you got other peripherals like the network card. It's PCI bus. PCI is usually noted by the white. You get PCI Express 1 and 16 just for your information. This also goes straight down. Don't like jam it in there like that. We'll show you how to not do that later. Secure. Usually with some have screws, some have these stupid looking things. You can just, I don't know how this works.
Yeah, that's how it goes in. Somehow.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
Well, I'm just confirming that that's the way it goes in, since you didn't know.
Well, I'm confirming that you're stupid.
Aww.
I'm just kidding, Johnny.
Or
maybe that would be
And many days later.
Thank you for your opinion. I don't care.
Got it. Got it. Don't worry. And last but not least, the young hard drive. See, for this specific model, there's like a blue casing. It's plastic, it's flimsy, and it's stupid, but some they just slide in. Like right here, you can get like external drive bays or whatever, or internal drive bays. To do that.
And there's only one way it will go in usually. And it'll click again, obviously.
You should use the blue cord. The blue one's longer. That one's not long enough for the...
Sure.
There's also various lengths.
This is the SATA, shut up and talking. This is the SATA data connector. This is what the computer uses to transfer the files over. The other longer one on there is just power. You can tell how to put it in by looking at the end right there, and then looking at the port itself by jamming it in there. Just get this out of the way. So I don't know what the hell that's connected to.
That connects to the
like
motherboard.
No, yeah, this. Well, I got that much.
I believe it connects.
It connects
to front peripherals through a ribbon. This is the old method of doing it, but
when you plug that in, then you got front panel devices.
bam, got it. Swag, got it.
Now I am going to show you how to put in the power supply. When you're handling the power supply, you're probably not going to want to be grounded. It's for this, so you're going to want to put it in nice and easy where power supply goes for your case. It should just slide into place. I'm having some difficulty in there.
Clicks in when
Clicks in, and then this power supply screws into the case at the back to keep it secure against it. If I could just hold it correctly, I could get this in. Probably gonna want a tip for this.
And by the way, general rule of thumb, if it clicks in usually, it means it's in. If it doesn't, then you might have to check it.
Yeah, you might want to double check it if it doesn't click, because there might be something off about it. Okay. Now, once the power supply is secure in, you're going to want to connect the 24 pin Now, the 24 pin has different shapes for the pins, so it'll only be able to go in one way. Some have a 20 pin and then have a 4 pin extension for 24 pins. This is a 24 pin. Now, there's also a 4 pin here that connects to the motherboard right here. This too has shaped things for it, so they're only going one way. This fan connects to the motherboard over here, this slot. Then CD drive, you're going to want to put it into one. It will click in like so. Now, power, from the power supply, you connect that cord to there.
Which is the hard drive right there.
Yes. And for the CD drive, there's a similar plug-in for the CD drive to plug it in to there. Now, like the hard drive, the CD has the same type of cord, just only shorter.
These always vary in length depending on the style of the case and the way the motherboard goes in.
Check it, son. Well, just trying to design support.
Okay,
And now
other than that, it looks like everything is done.
Next thing we have to do is put that case on the front and then put the lid back on over there. So case.
Okay. So this has a cover for the CD thing and has a thing for it to close up the open area that there's not a CD thing in. You're probably going to need to push something down. This needs to be pushed down to hold this in place, like so.
Right here, bring that camera right here, son. Check it. It's right there. See that?
There's a clip.
Swag.
Okay, I just will reattach this.
That was Dan for you. Swag.
Yep. That's attached. Now, with the casing, you're going to want to lift up the computer.
And make sure all cords are
within
in.
the computer.
Otherwise
Now,
bad things will
there's a
happen.
latch up on the top to help put it in. Okay, there.
And it's
Now you're
in,
going to want to hook up your monitor and
which will be covered in just the next few seconds.
Sit ups right here. I can see that. Mouse. For demonstration purposes.
Well,
I'll get you a new mouse or something. Yeah.
by the way, that one's USB. Sometimes
These
it
are USB.
varies.
Yeah, see, like, if you bring the camera over here, son, like, you can see right there, like, you have all the peripherals, plug in the back, you know, power. And back here, a good mental note is if you're in the US, this needs to be 115, or else if you're anywhere else in, like, Europe or whatever, then it needs to be 230 or 240. Internet. Well, actually that goes down here. We installed a network card. Yevgeny again.
And there's
Get
the
outta
green
here.
light.
So, when you got all that stuff plugged in, God damn it. Oh, you gotta delete that out. We already have a power cord.
for the monitor.
Okay,
For the
fine.
monitor.
You're right, Johnny. I'm sorry.
So there's the monitor.
That old garbage piece of crap. Don't do that.
And that's where you plug in the power there for that.
Video cable that you connect it into the back. This is your blast of the past from the early 2000s. I suppose you all know what that one is. don't need to cover that. Your power button. Swag.
Turns it on. And you got your monitor.
Oh, you also turn the monitor on too?
Yep. And by now, usually, you'll have an OS with it to go in. Usually, you're on your own from there.
Look at that boat.
By the way, if you're ever doing maintenance on your computer, make sure that you test it after you put it back together.
And call me.
And before you do anything, you should back up your information.
Put the camera on me. Put on the monitor or something. I'm just talking.
Talk.
Talk. Well, now I don't have anything to say. Excuse me, sir.
Ooh.
I have nothing to say.
Goofy PC.
It's goofy.
It's very goofy.
Goofy.